Yes, so my order came and I bought this Valentino purse spray for my daughter. Nice packaging. Feels like a rubber handlebar from a bike. So I returned my old Charlotte Tilbury flawless filter because I didn't think it made that much of a difference. But then when I saw they had another shade, 2.5, I reordered it. And same goes for my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in medium. I kept on thinking about it after I returned it because I thought it didn't really make much difference. Like it wasn't any different than my other bronzers. But now I had a hankering to order it again and try it out again. I'm going to keep it this time, don't worry. And then I just got a MAC Soft and Gentle, which I needed, and my beach cologne. And then I've got a few other things coming, a few more bronzers, and a lipstick. So, yeah, I was excited to receive this cologne. I had a little tiny roller ball, but you know those little roller balls, they're not that great. If it's a spray, it's good, but with the roller ball, I can't even get any of it out. So, let's see. To tell you the truth, I thought it was a bigger bottle. It only comes in one size, which is the 50 mils. So this is, to me, it's a small bottle for $105. But that's the going rate these days, especially for a nice cologne. So this is the medium. See how it pulls a bit warm on me again? But like I say, I'm really pale right now, but when I have a bit of a color on my skin, I think I'll be perfect. So if you ask me, the top one is Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. The bottom one is the Charlotte Tilbury Medium, and they're very similar. They still both pull warm on my hand, but on my face they don't. I'm starting to think that the Charlotte Tilbury is a lot warmer than the Hoola. What do you guys think? And the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, and the number is 2.5, fair, light fair. Is that what it says? Yeah, fair light, fair pale. Get your glasses on, Susan. This is the color of it. See, it's got that sheen to it. It is a bit darker than the number 2, so I like that. I'm glad. Because I don't want it to look too silvery. I'm at Walmart and I'm wondering about this Milani bronzing powder, and it is in number 2, Sunkissed Silky Matte. This sounds good too, and the shade looks good. So I'm on my way to my appointment to get my first COVID-19 vaccine. I've been playing with the idea for many weeks now. I always said if it ever comes, my way, I would maybe take it. But then I started watching all these crazy, news things about what happens to people out there, and I'm not very good at making decisions lately. I think it's the whole lockdown, stay-at-home thing that's made me crazy, more crazy. But I decided to go for it and act like a mature adult and not wait around for everybody else to get it, so I won't get it. Because that is a lot of people's intentions, right? Don't tell me you never thought about it, but it's not the way to go. My mother, of course, isn't going to get it because she's 94 and a half, and she, even with her flu shot, she used to get deathly ill with it, so we don't want to take any chances. She really doesn't go anywhere. She's usually in her beautiful condo in the basement. Mind you, still, she could get it from one of us. But she's not going to get it because I think it would do her in. So that's her decision. And my decision is to get it. And so the Pfizer and the Moderna are the two that they're giving at the place that I'm going. I know a lot of YouTubers out there, a lot of people don't want to voice their opinion about the COVID shot because a lot of people are for it, a lot of people are against it, and I mean, you're going to get a lot of backlash about your decision either way. So most people don't talk about it, but I decided to talk about it, and you can say whatever you want. I mean, I told my mom, we sort of have to help. This is a pandemic. So I figure we have to help the world try to get rid of this horrible pandemic, whatever. And the only thing that I worry about is, there's so many variants. Like, so I get the shot today. So what if there's another variant that shot doesn't take care of? I mean, what are we going to do? Go on life, just keep on getting shot so we don't get the COVID? And I have a few friends that have all had it done, and they're all alive, and they haven't turned into the Walking Dead yet. Just talking about this makes me scared. I want to turn around and go back home. My son's against it. He said, please don't do it, because he just believes in, half the world what they believe in about the COVID shot. But he might change his mind when I get it and I don't turn into the Exorcist or grow a third nipple or a fourth eyeball. I'm joking now. I'll talk to you in a couple of days about what's happened to me. I know I'm going to have a sore arm. I always do when I get some sort of a shot. So that usually lasts about 4 days of hell. Hopefully that will be it. And cross your fingers and your toes for me. And if I'm back, you'll know I lived through the process. So I'm here. It didn't take very long to get here. So this is where we park. Okay, I was vaccinated and they gave me the Moderna. And it's so funny, it was so well organized here. But when I was sitting there, they make you sit down for 15 minutes to make sure that you're okay before you leave. But when I was sitting there, it was all mind over matter because, I started thinking I've got some side effects. I'm getting a fever. This is how our brain works, especially mine. Anyway, I'm fine so far. My arm doesn't hurt yet, but it will. I know it will. So hopefully all goes well for me and everyone else out there that's had the vaccine. It's a ghost town. It's not a bad day. It was raining, but it's still a ghost town. Nobody's around. It's Sunday afternoon. Usually these streets are filled with people walking, having ice cream, walking with their kids and their dogs. So sad. I live in a small town near Toronto called Newmarket, and I've lived here 33 years, and that little town there I was showing you, the streets were empty. Usually they're filled with people. For some reason, a lot of film producers or movie companies love that little town, and we do get quite a bit of filming done on that main street there, and I've seen a few movies taking place. Also, there was a movie done, oh gosh, what's his name? I can't remember now. I'll link it below. He's a little smaller guy, and he's Italian. Stanley Tucci, that's him. He was standing outside of the, filming something. And then I remember years ago, Candace Cameron was on set there. Something about horses. In the middle of the night, I came home really late from some party, and I saw all the horses standing on the side of the road waiting to be filmed. And I'd say maybe twice in the summer, maybe twice in the winter, the streets will be all full of trailers and film crew, and it's kind of interesting. It's exciting. It's just I look around and I go, why would they want to come here? But they want just the average looking, plain Jane, normal kind of town, right? And a lot, of course, is filmed in Toronto. And I've been downtown where that's happened as well. Toronto's just as busy as New York with the film industry, right? So like I said, I'm sitting in the car again. My excitement, entertainment for the day. It's Sunday afternoon. And it takes a lot to be motivated these days, doesn't it? For me, anyway. So, drinking my Tim Hortons coffee, and I've decided to kick it up a notch because you know what? Even after gastric bypass, almost 3 years ago now, it's starting. My body wants to fight. The demons want to come out and fight my body again, and it's also my fault. I have the worst eating habits you could imagine. Always have. Eat nothing, absolutely nothing all day until maybe 4 o'clock. I have a coffee in the day. Rarely, but sometimes I do have like pieces of donut when we're going through the drive-through. And then I'll be starving at 4 o'clock, and I'll eat something stupid. And then I eat really late at night, which I know is the worst thing you could do. And it's just a bad habit I've formed over many, many years of my life because I don't have any appetite in the morning. I could gag just thinking about food. So I remember I went on a program once through a doctor called Dr. Poon here in Canada. I'm not sure if they have it in the States. And at first I thought he was crazy because all he made you do is eat meat and vegetables. No carbs at all. And I thought, that's not healthy. You can't live with that. But you know what? I did it, and I did lose weight on it. I felt great. The carbs, even though we are supposed to have some carbs, I'm not talking about complex like vegetables. I'm talking about starch carbs. Even though we're supposed to have some grains, what happens to me is I get in this mode where I can't stop. It's a sickness, like an addiction. I love carbs and spaghetti and bread, and of course those foods make you feel like crap after. Now if you eat a tablespoon like you're supposed to on Weight Watchers, I'm sure it's okay, but I can't stop at a quarter of a cup of rice or noodles. So there is the problemo. So it's all or nothing for me, and it works when I just eat the meat and vegetables and some fruit. And of course I still drink coffee and cream. I know that's not on a plan, but I do it and it works for me. And I even have a glass of wine at night and it works for me. So I'm going to start that again. And I started yesterday, and through one of my favorite YouTubers, Lisa, she's been doing this meat diet. Well, what is it called? Keto, I think. Carnivore. And I'm not a meat lover, so it's really hard for me to eat meat. Even before the surgery, I was never a meat eater. Barbecue maybe. But after the surgery, I do have a harder time liking meat. It feels different in your stomach. It's a heavier feeling. So of course, I was told this before by other friends who've had the surgery. It's harder to digest, and it doesn't hurt going down my stomach. It just makes me feel gross, like bleh. So that's why we eat soft things, and people do gain their weight back after a gastric because they're eating the wrong things. Even though their stomach is only the size of an egg, or a little bit bigger by this time, yeah, we like the soft things and the bad things, and meaning like, not that cheese is bad, but if you're eating cheese all the time, it's not a good idea. Also, we eat dry carbs like crackers and diet chippy things. I had to stop the video. Somebody parked beside me and they were looking at me strange. Where was I? Yeah, so it's easier just to eat like soupy, saucy things. I can eat carbs like pasta and stuff. A lot of my friends can't, but I can, and I was hoping that I couldn't because then I would stop eating them. Anyway, so going on with this new diet. Not diet. See, now we go again saying diet. It's supposed to be a lifestyle, but you know what? I don't think that eating meat and vegetables is a lifestyle. For me anyway, because like I said, I don't really like meat that much. And I mean, when I do eat this kind of meat and vegetable plan, I do lose I'm not like craving anything, which is a good thing. But I do feel empty. I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I'm missing something. So that's where the coffee, your diet pop comes in, and some fruit. And even when I was on Dr. Poon, I think I did eat some frozen diet yogurt just for those days when I wanted something. But now after the surgery, I don't even like I don't like any dairy that much. I don't like ice cream the same way. I used to love ice cream, and I do buy it still, and I buy the good quality one. And one spoon of it, and it makes me feel like, ooh. I think it's lactose intolerance. I think that's what's happened. A lot of surgery patients or victims do get that. But anyway, I'm not complaining. I'm just going to continue what I did yesterday. I went to Costco and I bought myself one of those barbecue chickens. And I know Dr. Poon says no barbecue chickens, no seasonings, none of that processed kind of salt chickens. He called it salt chicken. And I know what he means, because you do retain the salt, your water retention. But for me, I have to have it taste good, otherwise I'm not going to eat it. If it's bland, dried up chicken breast, it won't go down and I won't eat it. So I bought some, very moist. Of course, it's been marinated for days with salt probably. And I ate it for breakfast, or late lunch, I'd say, because I don't eat breakfast. I ate a little bit of it and I was okay. And then I made some meatballs in sauce at nighttime, and I ate it with a salad. And you know what? I had a coffee, I had a glass of wine, and I even had a couple of little cinnamon rolls, those little baby ones. That's another bad habit I've been doing. I have a box under my bed. Yep, I'm one of those under the bed eaters, not closet eaters, under the bed eaters. Because if I have anything good, my kids, who are not kids, they're grown adults, will find it and eat it, and then I have none. So I've hidden them, and they don't watch my videos, so they won't know where they are. But you know what? I'm just fooling myself, because every night I look forward to going to bed and eating one or two of those silly things. So what I'm going to do to stop myself, I'm going to put it in the kitchen and try to wean myself off of them. But I look forward to it. It's my only fun, other than coffee. Anyway, so I'm going to take one, put it in a little baggie, and bring it upstairs, and that is my treat, and that's it. Because if the whole box is underneath, I've been known to take about 3 of them at times. I know it's not a big deal to some, but to me it is, because I'm gaining weight. I have gained 10 pounds since I've lost all my weight. And, it's been starting with COVID. I gained a few pounds, lost them. But now altogether, from 3 years ago, I've gained 10 pounds. And I don't like it. And I don't like the number. It's creeping up, and it just brings me back to the nightmare of trying to lose weight, losing weight and gaining it back. It just horrifies me. It's terrible to have so much anxiety about weight and losing and gaining, but that's been my whole life since I was 10. So I'm going to try once again and do the meat thing. And so far, so good. It's only been a day. And I'm one of those crazy people who have to weigh themselves every day, because if I gain weight, like if I don't know, I could do bad things. So I have to weigh every day. And that's a sickness in itself too. So what I did was I cut up some of the chicken and I put a meatball in here. Looks gross, right? But it's good. It's soft, and it's got a nice taste to it because it's been marinated. So I'm going to eat that and drink my coffee. And what else can we talk about? The other day I put up a bronzer video, and I lost half my footage. And the other half was only stuff about what I purchased at Sephora. I got a beach perfume. I got a Valentino perfume for my daughter. And the other half was all about going for my COVID vaccine. And I lost it. And I thought I lost it. So I put up the video and then I found it. So I'll add that to another video. Or maybe this one. It's just a little bit, ranting about me going to get my vaccine, because for so long I was thinking about it, and I have a son who's against it. He has his reasons, and I understand them, and I do understand people that don't want it because it's scary, and you read a lot of controversy and conspiracy articles about the vaccine, and who really knows if it's going to stop this pandemic. We're hoping, crossing our fingers. The other day, see, I read all this stuff, and I read something about a person. Oh, it was a man and a woman. They both had their vaccine shots. A month later, they got COVID. And the woman had it, not so bad, but she got some antibodies injected in her to, I guess, stop it. I don't know. I've never heard of that. And then her husband is in intensive care on a ventilator. Like, why? Like, he got the COVID shot. And I know it's, they usually say, well, they say that if you get the COVID shot, that if you do get COVID, you're less likely to be really, really sick. So, bad luck for them. Hopefully he recovers and gets better. And then I heard about a story about a 13-year-old girl dying from COVID in a day. I know we're not supposed to say the C word, but I say it a lot, don't I? I'm not monetized yet. I don't think they'll take me off. Anyway, so she passed away, 13 years old, can you imagine? And her mother is in the hospital on a ventilator. She doesn't even go out. Her dad goes grocery shopping and that's it. And he brought it in the house. He tested positive, but they didn't know he had it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? You're being so careful, your wife's in intensive care and your daughter dies, and the poor wife doesn't even know that her daughter passed away. What's going on in this world? Anyway, I got to shake myself out of this because I can get really miserable and I can get really depressed. Every morning I wake up with a lot of anxiety and fear. I have to stop and I have to talk myself out of it and wake up and get ready and appreciate and be thankful that I'm still around. And I'm crossing my fingers, and I have a good feeling that we're going to beat this pandemic. But it's still really sad for all the people in the hospital. I'm a sucker for everybody. I feel bad for everything and everybody. If I see a sad person walking on the street, I feel bad for them, and I worry about them, and I don't even know them. I got to smarten up. These poor little duckies crossing the street, and some old man almost hit them. I would have gone out and I would have bashed him one. Poor little duckies. They own the parking lot.